Hello students. So we are studying energy conservation. So last time we have seen energy efficiency, advantages of energy conservation, then concept of energy auditing, then energy conservation in electrical motors, various opportunities for energy conversion in electrical motors that we have seen. Then we have seen energy conservation in refrigeration systems. Then we have seen energy conservation opportunities in HVAC, that is heating, ventilation and air conditioning systems. And now let us see energy conservation in compressor. So first of all, location of compressor is important from the energy conservation point of view. The location of the compressor and use of filters plays an important role on the amount of energy consumed. So compressors are fitted with filters, and that filters sucks the air. So if at all the filters are not clean or the filter is clogged, then there is a problem of sucking the air inside the compressor. So that's why filter plays an important role in the amount of energy consumed. The lower inlet temperature to the compressor results into lower energy input. So there should be low inlet temperature to the compressor. If the inlet temperature of the compressor increases, then the energy consumption of the compressor increases. So it is observed that every 4 degree centigrade rise in the inlet air temperature results in a higher energy consumption by 1% to achieve equivalent output. So if at all there is a 4% increase in the inlet temperature, then the energy consumption increases by 1%. Since the compressor room has higher temperature than the surrounding air temperature, it is essential that the intake pipe to the compressor must be extended outside the compressor room in a shade. Now the compressor is located in a room, and since the temperature of the room increases as we start the compressor, and after using the compressor for certain period of time, the temperature of the room increases. So this leads to increase in inlet temperature, and this also lead to increase in energy consumption. So for that reason, inlet pipe to the compressor must be extended outside the compressor room in a shade, so that the air will be circulate to the inlet pipe and the temperature of the inlet pipe will be kept minimum or lower. Then use of air filters. As I told you, air filters must be used to supply clean air at suction to compressor to avoid wear of moving parts. Filter should have high dust separation capacity with minimum pressure drop since higher pressure drop across the filters increase the power consumption. So that's why the filter should be clean and there should be minimum pressure drop, so that there would be minimum power consumption. Third, elevation. The altitude of a place has a direct impact on the volumetric efficiency of the compressor. It is evident that compressors located at higher altitudes consume more power to achieve a particular delivery pressure than those at sea level, as the compression ratio is higher. So the compressor located at higher altitudes, they consume more power as compared with the compressor located at sea level. Next, intercooling in between the stages. Stages means, suppose one compressor is connected to another and the second compressor is connected to third one, so that is called as compressor are connected in stages. So intercooling is required between the stages. So intercooler should be provided in between the stages to reduce the power requirement to run the compressor. Ideally, the temperature of inlet air at each stage of a multi-stage machine should be same as it was at the first stage. That means, suppose there are three compressor are connected, that means it is a multi-stage machine, then the inlet temperature of first inlet should be equal to the second inlet and third inlet. So this is referred to as perfect cooling or isothermal compression. The extent of power saved depend upon the intercooling of air carried out in a intercooler. It is observed that an increase in 6 degrees Celsius in the inlet air temperature to second stage result in 2% of specific energy consumption. So if at all there is an increase in 6 degrees centigrade in the inlet of second stage, then there would be a increase in energy consumption by 2%. Then using variable speed drives. Variable speed drives should be used for capacity control of compressor to reduce power consumption. So variable speed drives means the capacitor will run at variable speeds as per our requirement. It will not run on a particular one speed, so it will be having steps. And finally, by controlling pressure settings, compressor operates between pressure ranges called as loading, that is cutting, and unloading, that is cut out pressures. For a same capacity, a compressor consumes more power at higher pressures. So if at all the pressure increases, then there would be increase in energy consumption of compressor. So they should not be operated above their minimum operating pressures, as this is not only waste of energy but also leads to excessive wear, leading to further energy waste. So every compressor is specified its optimum operating pressure. So the compressor should be run between that optimum operating pressure. If at all we increase the pressure, then that will lead to energy waste, or it will consume more energy. Then the volumetric efficiency of the compressor is also less at higher delivery pressures. So this was about compressor, energy conservation opportunities for compressor. Now let us see energy conservation in fans and blowers. Now the difference between fans and blowers is that blowers are in big size as compared with fans. That is the only difference between fans and blowers. First one is choose the right fan. Now considerations for fan selection are, so the parameters or the factors that has to be considered for a fan selection are as follows. First one is noise, second rotational speed, third air stream characteristics, then temperature range, then variation in operating conditions, then space constraints and system layout, and purchase or operating cost and operating life. So these are the various factors which are taken into consideration for choosing the right fan. So if at all we want to select a fan, then we should think upon all these factors. Then second one is reduce the system resistance. So check periodically the fans and blowers, then check after system modification. So if at all there is a modification in fans or blowers is done, then the system should be checked. Then reduce where possible. So if at all there is a possibility of reduction, so we have to reduce that. Then maintain fans regularly. Under that, periodic inspection of all system components, then bearing lubrication and replacement, because fans and blowers are rotating parts, so we have to check the bearing lubrication and replacement also. Then belt tightening and replacement, that also has to be considered or thought of. Then motor repair or replacement, and then finally fan cleaning. So all this comes under maintenance. Then next one, control the fan air flow. Under that, to pulley change, we have to check the pulley, then we have to check the dampers, then we have to check inlet guide vanes. So guide vanes are there to give the direction to air, so we have to check inlet guide vanes. Then variable pitch fans, so the pitch of can be adjusted, so that pitch also has to be checked. Then variable speed drives, so if at all there is a variable speed drives, then we have to check whether each speed drive is working properly or it should not consume more energy. Then multiple speed drive, then disk throttle, then operating fans in parallel, and finally operating fans in series. So operating fans in parallels means the fans are fixed at a parallel manner, and operating fans in series means fans are installed in a series manner. So this was about energy opportunities for fans and blowers. So till now we have seen energy efficiency, the concept of energy efficiency, then what are various advantages of energy conservations, why energy conservation has to be achieved, then concept of energy audit, why energy audit has to be done and what are the benefits of energy audit, then energy conservation in electrical motors. So we have seen various techniques or various opportunities for energy conservation in electrical motors. Then we have seen energy conservation in refrigeration systems. Then we have seen energy conservation opportunities in heating, ventilation and air conditioning systems. Then we have seen energy conservation in compressors. Compressors are used in industrial application to supply pressurized air. Then finally we have seen energy conservation in fans and blowers. Okay, so thank you friends.